goodness. We apologize. We're sorry. We're back. That's right. We are back. It is Fans of Patrol time. I am the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my dynamite, on time, and live co-host, Miss Tifflebot. What's up with you this week, Tiff?
I don't know if you're making fun of me because I was late.
No, I was late.
But we were both late. You were late, and then I was late after you were late because you were like, I'm here, and I'm like, I'm not here.
Yeah, there's no fun being made. It's all good, Tiff.
I also want to apologize to anyone watching this because it looks like I don't even have a nose because I am just...
No. That's the filter we're using. That's the Purple Rain when doves cry filter. For those of you who don't know,
there's a lot of light coming in here, and I'm a very pale Midwesterner. Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, now I'm feeling better about it.
Right. We got Purple Rain going on. Anyway, man, so the title of the show is The Batman, and this is
Batman.
What is it? Show 375? We got to check on that because
holy shit, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right.
Nope, right on the air. I'm getting checked here, so I'm gonna have to check because we did skip last week. I do think it's 375, but we will check.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one, everybody.
Exactly. So this week we did go to the movies, as the title indicates, and we checked out The Batman. So we have our full Fans of Patrol, review discussion, how we do it thing going on the show this week. Also, man, Star Wars. Just when it started getting quiet in that camp, they hit you with something else.
Quiet. It has been not quiet in the Star Wars camp since I was born. 36 years of nonstop Star Wars.
Oh, Tifflebot, you forget about the dark times.
I know there was that brief period between the last time and then the new time when everyone got really excited, and then they never let go. When was that? When did the
like 83
first one come out? Phantom Menace.
Oh, 1999. So
okay. So I was 14.
Yeah, so between 1983 and 1999, that's a long time.
That does, you know what? In the Star Wars, that can be the Dark Ages, right there.
Yeah, it's dark times. Hey, so
nary a content to be found. I was reading those novelizations because I was so desperate for it.
I was too. I was reading The Last Command and all that dumb shit.
I want you to know that I've never read a Star Wars novel because I do not care, right?
Oh, I did read them.
I know. I said that, and then I was like, oh shit. I'm sure probably a lot of people do. I think that people like them.
No, that's all you had. So
I know.
It was like
just getting that fix.
It was like give it up. So look, I'm looking down, y'all, because
I saw it's 374. If anyone's curious,
it is 374,
not 5. So I was right.
Yes, 374.
But I see why you thought it was 375 because we did skip this last week.
Should have been something last week. Exactly.
Sorry. This is all a very titillating conversation for everybody listening.
Oh yeah. So what else are we doing? Oh, so there's something based off of a DC property.
DMZ.
Yeah,
it's really good. A very good comic book.
Really? So we're gonna talk about that. And then we got some Batman stuff, y'all. We got some Price of Tomatoes with some bats, and so we'll get to
Batman.
That.
Price of Tomatoes. Batmen.
Sounds like a porno.
Would watch
the Batmen. The Bat.
And here's the thing. The best part of it would just be a bunch of it would not be like a full costume thing. It would be a shitty the all Dollar Tree Batman mask that they were all wearing. You can see the string. It's too small for one guy's head, so I'll get the cut. It's just the cut like in the right here where you're wearing it.
Wouldn't even be a leather cow. Oh, that just made me feel yucky. Anyway, so
this made me feel
yucky. So then that's gonna do it. That's gonna be the show, and we're gonna keep on rolling. Then we're gonna tiptoe. We're gonna walk our butt over to the Patreon where we're doing some scary stuff over there. So just stay tuned for that. So saying all that good stuff, superheroes and draws outside of their pants. Tifflebot, are you ready to roll?
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, man, we are back. It's time to get it on, man. It's time to roll. We got a show for you. Tifflebot, before we go, tell the people the other places they can listen to us, and watch.
Okay. So you can get to us at our website, fansofpatrol.com, or you can also email us at fans@fansofpatrol.com, or get us on social media, which is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fans of Patrol. And then you can subscribe to our YouTube, check out our Patreon, and then listen to us on your favorite listening platform, please.
Indeed. So, man, Disney is ramping up for the summer. Disney is kind of screwed up, Tiff. They think the summertime that you really want to spend time in the house. So they have a lot of good shit coming on Disney Plus in the summer, and I'm like, why? Wintertime, y'all, wintertime. You know,
wintertime is a really bleak period, isn't it? You're like, well, here I am.
Can we flip this shit a little bit?
I think there's also just like a economy of like fun things happen in the summer.
Yeah, and I would rather be outside than running home to go watch the new Obi-Wan show, y'all. So
please, bullshit. You would rather be outside than watch this.
Yeah, I would. I would rather watch this in the winter. So anyway, man, in May, Obi-Wan is coming out. We knew this stuff, and we heard the talk of Hayden Christensen coming back, and we was like, what is he gonna be doing, flashbacks, or is he gonna be in the suit and whatever, and who's gonna be on the show? And they announced all these people, and we got a trailer, man. We got a trailer out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this, Tiff, because there was no big conference going on or nothing. And so limited series Obi-Wan, their new Disney Plus show, and it comes on, and holy shit, it's Disney. Now, what did you think of this trailer, Tiff?
Okay, so so when we send each other these articles and stuff, they have like some information as well as the trailer, and I was reading through it, and I was looking at the stuff it says, and it says, okay, first off, why is it season 2.5 for The Mandalorian?
Because during Boba Fett, they had like half of Boba Fett was The Mandalorian. So I could see that. Yeah.
Okay, weird. But then I was like, oh, there's so much Star Wars shit. Can I get a fucking break? That's what I, how people were like, I have superhero fatigue or whatever. And they like, I think I have Star Wars fatigue.
You don't even watch it.
That's why. If I watched it, I'd be like, give me more of it. But I will say, that being said, I was coming on here to prepare to say, leave me alone, Star Wars. But this looks really good. And also, is Ewan McGregor going to take his top off?
Only half naked Jedi we ever saw was Kylo Ren, and he had big boobies, and so it was funny.
Yeah, people didn't like his pectoral muscles. I also think it was an unforgiving shot, because I've seen him with his shirt off and he looks fine. Yeah. To me, he is a generally weird looking man to begin with.
He's all baby oiled up, and
you know what? It was getting sexy in the Star Wars, like in a galaxy far, far away. People were getting horny.
So anyway, man, I mean, I'm so excited, man. I mean, you knew you was gonna get a bunch of sand.
There's always sand.
Right. But then we got that little shot. It looks like Luke, all these Inquisitors that's from the show, all these dark Jedis all over the place, hunting Jedis. More of this. And I'm so pissed because it's only a 6-episode thing. Is it going to be another? Please don't just end it. You can, it was a long time. It was almost 20 years between the last of the Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And Luke only looked like he may be about 8 years old in this thing.
Yeah.
If that is Luke. So there's plenty of adventures that he can get on and do his thing. And, I just want more, man. I was on So Wizard. Shout out to Adam Wally Hawk and Joey DiCarlo. I was on their Patreon episode. It should be out now. And we talked about this. And, Joey was mentioning the music and stuff like that. He loved Duel of Fates. It's okay. I like Duel of Fates. It's not my favorite Star Wars music, but I like Duel of Fates. But it just harkened back to that. And then the day after this came out, Tifobot, they showed a picture of Darth Vader and, the suit.
Yes.
And so, and then there was a quote from Hayden Christensen saying, this is the most powerful, like, badass you're going to see Darth Vader. So I'm like, yeah, more of that. He needs to know.
I'm glad that he was like, I'm the best. I wanted you all to know it is me. I'm number one. I really enjoy that approach. Anyone is doing it, they're just like, just so you know, before you see it, I'm the greatest of all time. I will say that I like the look of this a lot. As far as, like, to me, it looks a little bit like they're trying to make it look a little bit like the older movies.
Yeah, that's the whole point of them.
And I know, because and that's another thing about Star Wars that's difficult for someone who's like a casual observer, is that the timeline is weird to me. Yeah. It's hard for me to keep the timeline straight. I mean, I know when this fits in the timeline because it's the most, the story I'm most familiar with, but also I just really like the people in it. And I think it looks nice. And I thought this trailer was a nice combination of, like, making me curious without giving me too much, which is always really good.
Yeah. I don't need to see another damn thing. And then, but they will, but this is enough. This is enough. You see some bad guys, you know it's a Vader. You see some lightsaber twirly action.
Really?
See a bunch of sand, and I hate that dumbass creature that was in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
he's riding on.
Whatever. We just close our eyes sometimes and we say that's fine. I'm not going to look too closely.
But the Disney Plus stuff. If you never watched Star Wars before and you just started watching The Mandalorian and Boba Fett and just the Disney stuff, you would be happy. I mean, this shit is like way better than the movies, in my opinion, especially the first 3 movies. I mean, not the first 3, but the prequels. The sequels, we talked about that. It just went so crazy with me. I love the characters. They just did all the wrong shit with that, and it ended up with a pile of just disappointment.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
So this is stuff that's fixing it. They ought to just retcon everything. Look, this is the new Orange is Black or whatever. This is what we're building our universe on. All through Jon Favreau. So beautiful. So more of this. So I'm excited, and I guess it's enough Star Wars.
I guess that's enough Star Wars until next week when there'll be more Star Wars.
Yeah. Hopefully. So anyway, man, the next thing. Oh, these are your damn notes.
They sure are. Yeah. I think I confused you because there was that Star Wars, which I'm gonna put in there. It's big news, but also you love it. I'm not gonna deprive you.
Yes. What else
of your Star Wars talk? So, the DMZ is a show that's coming to HBO Max.
Yes.
It is a story about a civil war is happening, and there's a demilitarized zone in which people are trapped. And during the evacuation process, Rosario Dawson's character lost her son, and so she's going back into the DMZ to try to find him.
Very reminiscent of a zombie movie we just watched recently, Zack Snyder.
It is, but also this comic. If you guys have not read this comic book, it's by Brian Wood. It's one of my favorite comic book people.
Really?
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I like the art, and it's really good. But also, I love that HBO is doing this. I think they're taking more chances on the more indie or traditionally these are more violent, or I guess not hyper realistic, because you're imagining this area, but that kind of horrible stuff would happen. And I like this whole, it's about the society that comes up inside of the DMZ and the corruption and the people trying to escape and stuff. So
yeah, man, for me, this came out of nowhere. And I love her. Just throw her.
I know that you. I thought you'd be cool with this, and either way, because it looks good, but also because your favorite. Yeah, one of your favorites.
She's making a ton of money right now, man. She's about to do the Ahsoka Tano story thing, and she has this. And when I saw this, man, I was like, whoa. I mean, first of all, it's her dirty bathwater. Second of all, the story. I don't know. Just from what I've seen in the trailer, because I'm unfamiliar with this 100%. It looked so compelling and so good, and it looked like there was so many multiple layers. And I'm assuming that her son grows up to be a piece of shit, one of those people in there, and he probably don't want to leave now, and so it just I want to see this, man. I think I'm sorry, this made me think it made me think about HBO too when I saw this, because I was like, we just watched Kimmy, and you don't hear anybody talking about Kimmy, but the more I think about Kimmy, the more I enjoyed that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really liked that. I thought it was good.
We were like, yeah, it was cool, blah blah blah. It was but more I think about it, I'm like, this is pretty goddamn good. And you're right, and that was a chance that they took. And let's see more of this, man. I mean, and the production value to this thing, it looks 100% beautiful. They're not.
It looks like it looks like a theater release movie. Right, it's a show.
I'm so glad they don't take stuff like this and just give you the old Star Trek backgrounds.
Yeah, some crusties. She's like, that's fine. Just get in there. Good job.
Be like the shit behind me.
What I really love what I really love about kind of like what you're saying is when a production, it's always such a joy, obviously, when it's not just sometimes I feel like there's things that are done that have to rely on just the actors.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like things that don't have to sometimes lean really heavily on their actors, but this looks like a really good combination where you got all of the good moving parts with great, as far as what I can tell from the trailers, good set design, really good acting, very strong acting.
Yeah, the set looks phenomenal. I mean, the set is ridiculous, man. I'm looking at the little waterfalls and all the green.
Yeah, it's almost I'm like, when was this filmed? Because it feels like not a pandemic movie. So I feel like, or show, I guess. So I was like, when was it that it started filming?
I don't know. It looks good. There's a lot of people on set too. They got people crammed in everywhere and stuff.
And which I think that's part of the thing that like makes me wonder about pandemic movies generally, but like post and like trying to accommodate that kind of behavior and stuff. But it's like weird to see like them all sandwiched. I'm just like, oh, we're all gonna die. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that weird anxiety. It's kind of like how when I got older, I always freak out when I'm watching a movie in which property gets destroyed because I'm like, my property. When I watched like houses get destroyed, I'm like, my house is like,
stop tearing
shit up. Stop fucking it up. Or like or like watching something and literally thinking the thought, that's never gonna get fixed.
Right.
Like when I watch shit, I'm just like,
you're like, take it outside, fellas. Take that shit outside. You're tearing up everything. That's a nice house. Like,
yeah. Why are you destroying your nice things? It's kind of like, do you remember it? Like I thought Into the Spider-Verse when they go to Aunt May's and she's like, get out of my house. You're destroying my house. I was like, amazing.
They tore it up too.
I want to talk to you. I know that so I think we're just both on board with this. Obviously, it's definitely worth taking a chance on if you have never heard of this. Either way, I think this is one of those ones too that like DMZ as a comic is not what people would normally think of when they think of a comic. And so, because I think I'm not talking about people who necessarily even engage with them a little bit, but I think like the general idea for most people when you ask them about comic books who've never read one would just assume it's superhero stuff. And this is a very Hollywood ready story.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk to you about another comic book that is mentioned in this article, which was apparently there's going to be a new Walking Dead show in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Why are you fucking doing this? Stop yourselves. Stop your fucking selves.
Maggie and Negan.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Characters getting a spinoff like the Game of Thrones.
People will literally be eating out of a garbage can and looking at another garbage can getting ready.
Well, you know, AMC is just like, look, more of the same. People still keep watching it.
Okay. I have a question about this because to me, The Walking Dead is not a zombie show. It is a drama.
Yeah.
In which zombies happen to be there.
They're a tornado. They're a natural disaster.
Right. So like to me, it would be the same as a show, like you're saying, that would be about an 8-year-long hurricane.
Yeah. It's been about 8 years since that damn show been on. Goodness gracious.
It might be longer. I think I was never really into it because I actually really like drama more. Whatever. And I like zombies. You'd think that I would be there every week with my ass in the seat.
Yeah. And I was surprised when you weren't, but I was there with my ass in the seat. I missed the first season. And so I had watched the first season, like AMC, you know, the what you call them, like even with the commercials, I binged it. And then I was on board until maybe season 5 or something. It was the part when Negan was busting people's heads open, skulls open, you know, in the long line. And at that point, so much shit had happened, like, you know, kids getting murdered and stuff. I just got to the point that I was like, the hell with this show. It's like just feeling like one shock thing after another, after another. And so I stopped watching. I haven't watched it. I watched the other one that was in Los Angeles like the beginning of the pandemic when it happened. And I watched that one for like maybe 2 seasons, got bored with it because it's the same stuff, you know, people dying. And I guess everything is the same stuff. I just kind of got tired of it. But I'm really surprised you never watched it.
I know. It seems like, and maybe I would get into it, but I also think sometimes, I think especially with dramas, it's hard to watch them after they've been out for so long because it's a lot of like, it doesn't seem like tedium when you're watching, when you're in it, when you're like actively participating. But sometimes when you think of like rewatch, like watching, for me, it's hard to binge a drama because it's just a lot of tedium.
So we're going to take a break, man, and we're coming back with Rotten Tomatoes, man, one of our favorite games. So hold on to those cheeks. We'll be right back. All right, man, we're back. It's time to get this show on the road and get it moving down the avenue. It's time for some bats, man. You know, it's the Bat Show. Tiff, what do we got, man? Hey, just so you know, while we're on the break, I ordered a Batman figure because I don't have one.
Listen, you guys, I got to witness the purchasing of what we first of all, we listened to Waiting for a Girl Like You.
I've been waiting
by Foreigner while he bought it. That was a friendship moment. I felt we really connected. And then he showed me, and I said, that's really sexy, because it kind of was, and it made me feel weird. Anyway, so
the doll,
yes, the doll looked like Robert Pattinson, and then that made me feel sexy, and then I felt weird, and now all of you know, and I want to die.
Yeah, it's all good.
So anyway, I can't even think straight. So we're gonna play Price of Tomatoes, but it's a little bit of a different style. It's not really kind of like Price is Right, and it's more of like a guessing game now because there's only 2 of us. So normally when we play by normal Price is Right rules, where we both bid on and we've done it before where it doesn't matter.
Yes.
What we're gonna do is Montego's gonna give me I'm gonna guess the percentage of his, and he's gonna guess the percentage of mine, and whoever has the most answers right wins.
Yeah, but tell them the concept, Tifflebot. You took the Batman.
Yeah, so it's Batman movies.
Right.
So anybody who's been Batman, just generally movies that they've been in. Batman. The Price of Tomatoes, Batman.
Yeah, guys, Val Kilmer, Pattinson, Keaton, all those guys. So Tifflebot.
Yes.
This is your game, so I probably should go first.
Oh, you're gonna ask me first?
Yes. Okay. It's up to you.
I see. When you say we do this every time, you're just like, I'll let you go first, and then I don't know if you mean you're gonna let me ask first or you're gonna let me answer first.
You make the call.
I'm just gonna ask you. All right. I hope, my sincerest hope in this game is that at what we have picked the same movie. That's my hope. That one of our movies is the same.
We didn't. I bet you.
Okay. All right. Calm down. Okay. So I need to know what you believe Dogma earned on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dogma. Wow, he was in that.
He sure was. Ben Affleck. This is a Ben Affleck movie. Ben Affleck flick.
Fun fact, Tifflebot, you can't get this movie anywhere, right?
I own it, but yeah, you can't.
Right,
you can't stream it.
That's it. There's no streaming for this movie. It's like one of them phenoms. Dogma was Kevin Smith. It's probably super low. I would give it a 36%, Tifflebot.
I do love that, but it's 67%. Well, okay, can we pause this for 1 second?
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So the actual score is 67%. I said 36%, so I didn't go over, right?
Correct.
Now it's your turn. So Ben Affleck. All right. The Accountant.
Oh fuck! You love that movie.
I do love that movie.
I've never seen it. I know. That's my mantra is I've never seen it.
You would love it.
I would say it's probably a fun movie, a good movie to watch, but I'm not sure if it was critically acclaimed, but it's probably wasn't so bad. I'm gonna say 58%.
58? You went over.
Shit.
Montego takes the round.
So fucking rude.
Yeah.
This is a game I created. This is a bit of a truncated version, but I never win. I've never won this game, I don't think.
No, you have one.
Oh, was it the horror one? I think I won on.
Yeah. So this is how we're doing it, guys. So each round, whoever gets closest without
to the other's number. So like on my question, if Montego's closer to my number, then he wins the round.
I win the round, right? Yeah. So she went over, so I won the round.
Which is bullshit. Price is Right rules.
Okay, what's your next one, Tifflebot?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got so distracted by being mad that I didn't get it, that my phone locked. Okay, so this is George Clooney.
Oh, okay.
The Descendants. I've never seen this movie, but it's the one where he's in Hawaii.
Oh, that's when he's an old dude with the 2 gals and stuff like that. That movie probably did pretty good. I'm gonna say 74%.
It's 87%.
Wow, pretty good, Tag. Pretty good. You said it's 80 what?
87.
87? Okay. See, this is a different dynamic here because you don't have to like do no $1 shit, right?
Right. You can't do the $1 here.
Right. Okay. My next movie, Michael Keaton.
Okay.
American Assassin.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think people liked that. I'm gonna say 62%.
Damn.
Damn, why are we going over?
You went over again.
What was it?
It's 34. I was so surprised.
I thought I remember that being well received.
I saw this movie maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. You know, it had been out for years.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I was like, this is a damn good movie. I enjoyed it so much. And when I was doing my scoring and stuff, I was like, man, I can't believe some of these scores. Yeah, they torpedoed it. So you went over twice. So that's
fuck. Well, that sucks.
Boom and boom.
Okay. So
next.
My next one for you is Val Kilmer.
All right.
Willow.
Damn. Okay. This is a difficult. Because people love this movie. I hate it. I didn't even like it back in the day. The only reason why I was into it because it was George Lucas.
Wow. As a defensive statement, that kind of falls short, is all I'm saying.
Well, I'm a Star Wars fan. That's the first time you heard George Lucas in 1983. You was like,
you nerds that like Willow. I was only here for the George Lucas.
That's true.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Oh my God. What's the number?
Those nerds are used to being pushed around, Tiff, so it's okay. Let me see. Willow.
I like how you're probably trying to calculate what you would give it. You're just like, what?
No. Yeah, you're right. You might be right.
Okay.
No, so I'm gonna go higher than what I would give it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 64%.
Oh, you went over.
I'm dead. All right.
Oh wait, but give me a chance to tell you what I thought yours was. Let's not deprive the listeners of the opportunity to embarrass me. Ask me what your question was anyway, even though I would still win.
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta get your points. You're winning no matter what, right?
Right.
Val Kilmer, Top Gun.
Oh,
ain't that something?
He's so sexy in that movie. So I give it like a 78% at least.
And you would have went over.
I'm not doing very good today.
Oh, you know what?
So we both lose. So that's the point of answering the question, is that nobody gets it.
Well, yeah. Well, it's 78. No, it's 59%.
59. That doesn't seem right.
I was like,
I sometimes wonder about that site's aggregate.
I was tripping. 59 for Top Gun, one of the most beloved American movies ever. Wow. But you won because I went over, right?
But I went over too.
Oh yeah, because there is no I won and you didn't, right? So you got three strikes. Let's keep going.
I know. So this is over because you win already. You win. But
your next one.
I want people to hear my list.
Right.
So this is Michael Keaton. Multiplicity. I love Multiplicity.
That was right after Batman, and I didn't see it. Multiplicity. I don't remember too much rage about it. Multiplicity probably is 68.
Ooh, you went over.
Woo.
43. That's how good it was. It was 43% good. Actually, I think it's fun.
I've never seen it, so it's kind of hard for me to,
Sure.
What? George Clooney.
Mm-hmm.
Peacemaker. Wait a minute. The Peacemaker.
Oh. Clears up a lot of stuff for me. I gotta tell you.
There's so many movies with the Peacemaker. There's a few Peacemakers. It's a few Peacemakers in there. But
35%.
Pretty good, Tifflebot. 44.
Hell yeah. See, I went low this time because you already went over.
Right. But I love this movie. I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
It was him and not Julia Roberts. What was Tom Cruise, one of his first wives?
Nicole Kidman.
And I love the movie, but if I watch it now, it'd be kind of interesting to see if I still like it. Last one, Tifflebot.
All right. So my last one for you is Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
The Lighthouse.
Damn. I'm going to say 82%.
90%.
I knew that movie was critically acclaimed.
Just raking it in.
Yes, so that's pretty good. Kristen Bell.
Oh.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, I think we'll like that. 75%.
You did not go over, but you didn't beat me. It's 72. It's 92%.
Nice.
Yeah, 92. I like this, man. I won the game. It's feeling good.
Your pure joy over beating my ass quite consistently it amazes me. Like, you never tire of it. But also I really like it because sometimes I feel like you feel a little like you win, but you still feel bitter about it because you didn't win by as much as you thought you would, or you felt like there was like a give me.
My friends.
Congratulations. You know, all I have to say to you is congratulations.
Thank you.
I am so happy for you.
It's a good game, though. You know, when we were going through the movies, it was like memory lane. But
yeah,
I was so look. Just to go back, The Accountant, one of my favorite movies. This is in my top 3. 52%. Top Gun, 59%. Peacemaker, 44%. Christian Bale and Ford vs. Ferrari, 92. I was so surprised by those tiny ass scores for movies. Like,
yeah, I think that part of the problem with the aggregate is that over time, the longer a movie exists, it skews it one way or the other. So like it either attains a kind of like 100% status, even though maybe it's not 100%, or like a really low status depending on like how people begin to
shit. Tiff, I'm like, these are great movies, and they were just like,
that Top Gun was really surprising.
59 Top Gun. Listen, all you got to do is go and they put a smile on your face. You're like, oh shit.
Everybody knows what you say when you say "talk to me, Goose."
Right. 59. This movie sucks.
Yes, bullshit.
Wow. Yeah. F y'all. So that's it, Tiff. We're gonna take our final break, and it's time to come back and talk about the Batman, man. What I think I said my most highly anticipated movie of the year when we did that show.
I think I kind of
movie as number 1. Yes, indeed. So we will be right back. Hold on to y'all cheeks. We having a ball. For some superhero fisticuffs action, man. It's been so long, Tiffo. It's been since Spider-Man since we got to like get down and dirty with some superhero stuff. I'm lying because it's been all kind of stuff like Peacemaker and things like that we've been having a ball.
You know,
listen, nerdom has been given, and it's great. You know, I've been feeling pretty good about what's been happening. You know, superhero fatigue. We talk about that a lot on this show. However, the superhero genre has gotten to be at the point that they're giving you different type of shit that it just blow your mind. When you look at stuff like the Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, and then you look at stuff like the Batman and other things that we do, it's like, you know, like the Marvel, like even Spider-Man. Yeah, they're superheroes, but the things that they're giving you are so different that it's like been very interesting.
I also think like there is a lot of to do with like when I talk about Star Wars fatigue, I think a little bit for me it's because I'm not as big in the fandom as other people are, right? I'm just more like a casual, like, I like it.
Yes.
And so for me, it seems like there's a lot of stuff happening, but for people who enjoy it, it probably doesn't feel like that. It just feels normal.
Because I would rather watch superheroes doing a cowboy or, you know, a different genre, and it's a superhero, you know, like The Mandalorian, basically a Western in space, you know.
Sure.
So yeah, more of that. The hell with the other stuff. So anyway, man. The Batman 2022,
yes,
PG-13. They really, I could have hit that R if they wanted to. You know,
I think so too. But
action, crime, and drama. When the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, goddamn it, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. Director Matt Reeves, who nobody wanted to even deal with, me including myself. Who the hell is Matt Reeves, and why is he getting a superhero film to, you know, produce? And stars who, Tifflebot?
Robert Pattinson.
Ha ha! Edward. He's no longer glistening.
Zoe Kravitz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right off of Kimmy, you know.
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
I love Paul Dano.
I've never seen him before. What else has he been in?
He was like in that Beach Boys movie. He's been in There Will Be Blood. He was in Swiss Army Man, which I love.
Oh, so nothing. Okay.
No, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's been you guys she's in Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Sunshine. He's in that.
I know that.
He's the brother.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey goddamn Felix Leiter Wright. Holy shit, that's my boy.
John Turturro.
Wow.
Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah, who the hell was he? District Attorney. Oh, that was.
Yeah, you didn't recognize him?
No, I didn't. I was like, after the movie was over with and I saw Peter, I was like, where was Peter Sarsgaard?
He looked very middle management, I will say.
Right.
But I recognized him.
I really like him as an actor. I think he's phenomenal. And all the shit I've been seeing him in. But go ahead.
Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, Colin Farrell. Holy shit. Wow. Look, this is like my applause of their performance, right?
I like how we're not even gonna get to the one word because Montego's absolutely shitting his pants.
Oh shit, I haven't even thought I gotta think about it. Go ahead, so I can think about my one word.
That's really it.
So Tiffobot, it is that time of the show where we talk about we sum it up in the whole movie in one.
You're absolutely okay.
Tiffobot, one word for the Batman.
Badass.
Badass. That's two words, but we're gonna.
No, it's one word. I read it as one word. Yeah.
Okay. And I did have my one word from last week. When I saw the movie, I was like, think about what's your one word. My one word is one I have used before. It's superb.
Superb.
Mother puss bucket. I think I was like one of the few people out there when they started talking about Pattinson Batman. I was like, no, I'm a chill. I'm shit. It's probably gonna be good because
I think the consensus was on the show that everyone always shits on the Batman announcement, and then afterwards goes, "Oh, actually, I really like that Batman. That might be my favorite Batman."
Exactly. So I'm done. Because I was King Batflack. I was like, I remember I tweeted that when that announcement happened, and I know this is not true. This is not what happened, but.
Stop.
When Ben Affleck was announced as Batman, I literally, the moment it happened, tweeted, no, like NOO, right? Man, and I know this wasn't me. It's just a coincidence. He went on like a talk show, like I think Jimmy Kimmel or something. He's like that, they were talking about how did he, when people announced it, how did it go? He said the first thing he looked on the internet, he saw somebody saying no. And I said, I know it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it was me. He said,
that's funny. No, I mean, it wasn't you, but it was you. It was the general.
Exactly. And so ever since then, and then like he's been my favorite Batman. I just love it. And so after that, I was like, look, you never know, And so so Pattinson is Batman, and man, my one word is superb. I'm gonna talk about this. We're gonna create another segment too, Tiffobot, and
right now.
No, I'm not going to spring it on you at right now. I figured what we could do at the end of this, the wrap up, is have one word, the worst thing, But I'm not going to do it to you. The worst thing about whatever it is you watch, even if you love it.
Oh, I know what the worst thing about this movie was.
Oh, let's do this.
When he flew through the city on his little like the cliff jumper suit, and they zoomed in on his face. That was like, for some reason, a very ridiculous shot to me. And I laughed a lot because it was very stupid looking.
Really?
I mean, but the only part that I laughed at was his face.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably worse things about the movie, but that part really caught me off guard, I think, and like took me out for a second where I was like, this looks really funny.
Yeah. I'm going to try to think about something shitty about this movie as I go. Because
that's a very minimal complaint, like that. I think that's like less than 15 seconds.
He looked like an asshole for like 5 seconds,
But I just remember noticing it.
Yeah. So let's get into it, man. Let's hit some spoilers so we can do our thing. Movie starts super creepy with somebody spying on the mayor of Gotham, and ends up in his house, Tiffobot, as he's talking, drinking a little burb, feeling good, and this dude is standing behind him the whole time. Creepy as shit, and thank God for this scene because it set the whole tone for this movie.
Yeah,
like, okay, we've seen Batman grow up and become Batman, and this is his second year of him being Batman, so it's Batman year one pretty much. And it's like so raw that this guy is standing in his right there with him, and next thing you know, the guy wraps him up in duct tape. This guy loves duct tape.
That part where he was pulling on it, and I was like, is this supposed to be horny because it was like kind of horny.
If you can find the horn and everything.
Yeah, the whole. You mean me personally?
You can find the horn, Tiffobot. You can find the horn. But,
how very rude of you to say about me.
He wrapped him up, right? And
yes.
he did all kind of shit to him.
Yes.
And Tiffobot, the thing
he hit him with a thing that I didn't. Did you know what that was?
No,
okay, I didn't either.
I've seen it before. I've seen that tool before, but it didn't click.
Well, I don't. Not only have I never seen that tool before. Mm-hmm. When they shot it, that first scene, I couldn't tell what it was. I thought it was maybe a hammer. Yeah. But what I want to say, I want to touch on a couple of things before we get too far into this movie.
100%, please go.
One is, this is maybe my favorite way Gotham has looked. It's so gritty.
Wait a minute, Tiffobot.
What?
Because I want to slow you up with that.
No.
To me, it looked exactly the same, but older in the Joker movie.
I don't want to talk about that.
It looked like the same Gotham.
I kind of see that.
But the time,
like in the future.
Yeah, this was like, because the Joker was like in the 70s, and this movie was obviously now.
Like the future-ish. Yeah, I kind of couldn't tell because there was all the. It must have been like current times.
I thought it was current
because all the TVs kind of, that's what threw me. The fact that it looked like a Broadway.
Yes, I was like, this is the Joker's universe. That's how I was looking at it. I was like, it's gritty and dark and wet and shitty, and
I thought the whole just tone of it and how everything was so big looking. And
no, wait a minute, Tiffobot.
Yeah.
You think this is better than the Gothic Deco statues of Batman and Robin?
No, I don't. It's not. It's just, I just really I think I really felt it. You know what I mean? I don't know, it's just something about it.
Tiffobot, I'm screwing with you.
Yeah, fuck off.
Batman and Robin was terrible.
Listen, no, I thought I was kind of thinking when you were saying just other. I've liked a lot of portrayals of Gotham. I like Tim Burton's portrayal of Gotham.
The first one.
So so like all the Batman. But
hold up, Tuff.
Yeah.
Chicago was woven into this as the Dark Knight series too. So I really like that it was like familiar with the Dark Knight, series. They keep showing the bridges in Chicago and stuff like that. So it was Chicago, but not Chicago, but New York. And really good. Really good. I agree with you.
But what I want to say about this movie is going to sound maybe weird, but that's okay. And we're here to be weird. So,
go crazy.
So, Paul Dano, I think, is superb.
Yeah.
As the Riddler.
Yes.
And to that point, this movie does this really, I guess until I'd seen this or thought about it in this context, I've never really realized it before. But this story has violence. The violence is part of the story, right? And so sometimes when a movie is PG-13, they kind of pull that so that they can maintain that level of PG-13edness.
Yeah, they want the kids to come so they can make more money.
What I will say about this movie is I thought that they did a really excellent job of conveying to me how violent something was
100%
without showing me something that was gore, which is not to say that I don't want to see gore, because I'm obviously watch a lot of horror and I want to see gore, whatever's fine. But like in the way that you were telling this story, that control, it was very fascinating to me.
Oh my God. You saw the splatter and the ghoul and the gore without them showing it.
There's just like, there's a couple scenes where like Robert Pattinson does it, like the difference in like the punching or the hitting, where there's obviously some are really more angry, was very interesting to me, because I obviously noticed it, which maybe I don't always would have noticed that. I think that was really well done. And so like in this scene particularly, like you don't see too much, because also he tapes his head closed, which is horrifying in its own way, right? The whole fucking thing is fucked
that's up. Like waterboarding with duct tape is what he did to him. So moving forward, so he's dead, and this is my Batman, Tiffobot. First of all, let's talk about the Batsuit. Best Batsuit ever, because the man can actually move in this damn thing. He can move around. He doesn't look like I can't turn my neck, I can't do that. And it's not like so much armor that he has on, like body armor. And I love how the mask is cut up really high, so he doesn't talk funny when he talks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he can understand him. He can act with this mask on and project a lot of emotion. I noticed that right off. I was like, wow, this is the best suit they did for the cinema, because you can literally, he can act in it. You can see his eyes, you can see his face pretty much. And he comes in and it's my Batman. He's at the crime scene. And I love how they bring him in and the cops hate his ass.
Yeah.
They're just like, I can't believe you're bringing this freak in,
And I like how emotionless, I like his portrayal of this Batman. It's almost like he does things because, well, obviously it's for his parents, but he's like also just like, I kind of want to hurt myself and this is the way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so like he's got like the note from the Batman, and I like how like you really get to see his like detective stuff that he does. Like
that's all Batman
so good
to be.
Right.
The comic books, if you read Batman the comic books, this is this is an arc in the Batman comic book, and he's like, this is what I've always wanted. Why have y'all done all this fantastical bullshit? Save the Dark Knight Rises. I mean, the Dark Knight, which, was the quintessential perfect Batman story. But this is even more perfect, because this is just like, this is what I want. He comes in, he surveys the scene, and it's a problem. You didn't kill the mayor, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a mayoral candidate who's still out there, and then there's the riddle. And it's like so cool. I'm so into it, right? So that happens. And now we have this thing going on. So we have this Batman, and we have this murder that happens. And then we have this criminal element in the city, which is like nothing we've, they've done the crime stuff in the Batman movies before. My thing is doing something. It's making noise. Sorry about that. But now we're going to introduce all these other characters, right? So Batman is pretty emo, Tiff.
I love him. I love how sad he is. I love his music that he's listening to. And also, shout out to the people who made this movie, because he never really fully has all that eye makeup off, and that is facts. If you wear mascara, if you wear eyeliner, that shit just stays on you for forever.
I dug that too, Tiff. But it's funny that you mentioned that, because I noticed that, and I'm like, they do the Batman, and then like he has the eye makeup on, and then he like pulls off the mask, and he looks like me. Everything is nice and like,
he's like, he's like, oh, squeaky clean, and then but this Batman's just like, it's in my eye.
No, dude, I'm literally putting on my war paint when I'm going out. I'm about to put my mask on next, Alfred. So hey, hand me the mask.
Hey, Alfred, hand me the mask.
So I love the relationship between him and Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon. Well, I felt like Captain Gordon.
Right. I felt like that relationship was so much more like what I would have assumed it would be like, because they literally use each other to help like further the case. They are both talented in a certain area, right? And I love that about their duo is so, it's not even like buddy cop, it just feels natural, which is kind of weird to say. I really liked that.
Something else that I really liked is that right now Gordon doesn't realize how corrupt Gotham is.
Yes, he learns and is surprised at the same time. Yes. So like because the second part of our thing is this. Okay, so they find a thumb drive. That's the next part of the story. Which
I love the.
I laughed. I fucking laughed when he pulls it out and it's got the thumb. And there's, because you want to know why? Because it's funny without having them to be like, got a thumb drive. He's like, I think it's this. And I'm like, this is the fucking funniest delivery I have ever seen. And yet I was the only one who laughed in the movie theater.
Really? Oh, no. There was laughs in the theater that I was in. It was like not hysterical, but it was funny because
like I had a little chuckle, right?
Hysterical, but it was like, damn, this dude has a shitty sense of humor. And so as soon as they do this, right, it uploads all this dirt to all this people.
Yeah, we see, that's where we see Annika for the first time, or Annika, like the girl that he was like, she was a girl from the club. So basically he was part of like this club thing that was happening with drugs and prostitution and stuff, sex work, excuse me.
Yeah, and so, then, we have Miss Caine, no, not Caine. What's her name? The Catwoman. What's her name?
Selena Kyle.
Yeah, so she's working in this club, and she's hot as hell with her little wig.
Holy shit! And here's the thing: every new wig, I was like, I'm here for it. I love the fucking wigs. And she took the wigs off, and I was like, I'm still here for it.
Looking good. So Batman, not Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Well, I like how so much it's more Batman in this movie than Bruce Wayne.
Well, I think like he doesn't want to be Bruce Wayne.
No, he shows up to this club and the ass whoopery Tiffo First of all, we saw the ass whoopery from his introduction with the canes, like punching out people, which is a real thing that happens. Comes in and beats the shit out of them, but we kind of saw that in the trailer. But then when he shows up in his club, Tiffobot, the ass whoopery is redonkulous. He's just beating ass, and and I love the context, because at first I thought this was the same timeline as the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, but then he has and I'm like, oh, that's cool as shit, right?
I really like that piece of tech in this movie, because it was just far enough out of what I believe is possible for me to be like, that's not how that works, but it was just like enough of like an extrapolation of current technology that I was like, that makes sense.
Facial recognition.
Hell yeah. I mean, okay, you guys, I mean, I hate to be like losing my mind over this fucking movie, but I guess that's where we're at.
Hey, look, you can't help it, man. If the shit is good, it's good, man. God damn.
Well, this is kind of where we meet the Penguin, and like it's kind of revealed that like he's just, I mean, at this point he's pretending, but he like is just kind of like I run this club. I'm like maybe I'm in the mob.
Hey, Tiffobot, I just want to give a shout out. And Colin Farrell. Holy shit, Colin Farrell. My God.
This movie is studded with stellar performances. It's outrageous.
Colin Farrell blew my goddamn mind. Not the suit, the fat suit, the makeup, the acting, the shitty New York accent.
His little face that he just there was so much acting in his face.
Yes. I knew this dude has been a pretty decent actor. I never ever thought Colin Farrell was like next level holy shit until I saw this. And I'm like, wow. He's so good. He was unrecognizable. And
he's aging into it.
And for a good reason. I was just like, wow. I was mesmerized watching Colin Farrell, especially in like later scenes and stuff like that. So he's in the mob. And let's give another shout out to a stellar performance. My boy from what's his name? John Turturro. Never seen him as a bad guy. He comes into the club. So let me not skip ahead. So Selena Kyle, she's looking for her girlfriend. Her girlfriend.
So he's talking to the Penguin. He's like, who's the girl in this photo? But basically he's saying like, what are these fucking people doing in this club? Because this club's dirty, and there's at this time he doesn't know about the other one, and she comes in to serve drinks, and she sees, and he can tell that she recognizes the girl. So he follows her home.
Right. And the girl.
This is the creepiest part of the movie is when he's a peeping Tom, which like he's just, and it goes on.
Right. It does. Right. And then, she steps out and goes to the club, and the girl ends up missing. Right. She's like disappear.
When they come back.
Right. That whole scene in the club. I didn't know that was John Turturro that comes up. I was like, hey, sweetheart, how you doing? I was like, and then I find out he's playing like Carmine Falcone, right? One of the super iconic character. And Tiff, he is so good. I love John Turturro no matter what he does.
Yeah.
I've never seen him something I was like, man, he's terrible. No, he's been awesome forever. And he's playing the mob boss and, top of the heap. And I love that this movie doesn't go so left or right that it's like you're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, the bad guy is a bad guy. He's as shitty as you might think he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the girl is there. We all know this. And when he sends Selena into the deeper part of the club, with eye things on, I love that whole scene because that's when we get that scene with Skarsgård playing a DA, and he's just a talker, because he's high. Taking this fictitious drug that they got in Gotham, and I like
drops.
Right. And I just think it's this cool shit, man. And so people keep dying, Tiff. The Riddler keeps murdering.
So she finds some stuff out. She kind of blows their cover because she gets frustrated.
Right.
And then the next part is they're having a memorial service for the mayor, and to try to obviously get some information because he wanted to know if he could catch the killer, because killers usually show up.
Check this out, Tim. Yes, the killers show up. His relationship with Alfred, I'm frustrated with, but I get it. But you don't see it before. He doesn't really give a shit about Alfred at that point in time. He's like got this.
Oh, when they give him the cufflinks, and he's like, "Oh, are you Wayne,
right?
And he was like, bitch,
your daddy gave look, kiss it, ass. These is your daddies. He gave the kid, not you. And so I'm like, wow, this is weird that has this relationship, but it's not so heavy-handed that I'm like, like when Michael Caine, when he left, when Michael Caine left, Bruce Wayne in that movie, and I was like, oh, it always bothered me, when he was like, I can't be a part of this. I was like, this is bullshit. But he's like treating him like shit, and he's like, dude, you don't know everything. But anyway, he shows up to this.
This is my favorite.
I love
Riddler
this
moment.
First of all, when he shows up at the funeral, right? And the one cop Martinez who hates Batman is like such a fanboy when he sees
Bruce Wayne.
I love that shit, right?
And he's just like, ugh. It's like how I would assume, like, if you met a celebrity and you were cool about it and they were like, this person's cool, and then someone else is just like, oh my god, it's, I don't know, fucking
right.
Then they'd be like, that person's a loser. I don't know, like, that's what it felt like. He was like, if you knew me as Batman, you'd be chill.
The car comes through the thing, busted. Phenomenal directing, Tiffo. But I mean, this is shit we have never seen before. And dude,
I would say so many things happen in this fucking movie that are alarming.
Yeah, because like this shit could happen. This shit could happen, right? And like the homeless people who are at the funeral, like all these rich pieces of shit, like putting a mirror to Bruce Wayne every single time, right? It's like they're like, look, y'all all pieces of shit. Bruce Wayne, oh shit, excuse me. He don't think he's one of these people, right?
Yeah,
he thinks he's like, something else.
Well, I think I do think that the good thing in this movie is you do see him grow as a person, which is kind of weird to see that. And I think in a superhero movie, but like even the mayor later she sees him at the funeral and she's like, I know that your dad was a philanthropist,
right? You ain't doing
and
shit.
you're not any, yeah, and that's dried up. She's like, I would like to talk to you about that. So then, so this scene where the DA is so scared,
the bomb and
and I was like, oh my god. And okay, so there's what I really also like about this movie was that we go back and you watch the trailer. Some of these sound bites are from like this moment or a later moment. And this one in particular, like, I really hated the one that was like, it's justice. I hated that soundbite in the trailer because I was like, it just seemed so on the nose a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's actually part of this scene, and the whole scene is really great because it's a buildup of the 3 riddles he has to answer.
Yeah, when Batman walks out of that darkness, like as he did with the gang members, the same type of scene. It's like, this is my signature. Just come, and the guy sitting there about to shit his pants. And he comes out and he's talking, and he got the phone on his hand. It's so much going on, Tiff, and it's so good. You're like, oh my god, this is what if I want suspense, it doesn't matter that Pattinson is standing there in a Batman suit. He could have had on a Bogart hat. You know what I'm saying? It was like some shit going on, and he blows up Tiffobot.
Oh my god, so that's what it was like. Everything that like I kind of was like, they're gonna get him out of it. Nope. And on this one, no,
I thought so too for a hot minute. I did
right, and then like. They even use that later. They're just like, this guy got the DA killed. He can't have him around, which I like that it helps build the mythos that like, because kind of when you watch this stuff, you're like, why wouldn't the police want help from Batman, right? He's obviously very skilled, blah 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 blah.
Well, the only person who appreciates him is Gordon, and he wakes up with 17. I love this scene with the 17.
So good.
Little bitty ass room. And they didn't take the mask off. As soon as they started pulling on the mask, he wakes up and starts beating ass, right? And he is beating ass. They trying, right? They're like, and he like pop. The ferocity of his fisticuffs. You've never seen this in any Batman movie.
Well, there's also like a line in this movie where basically Gordon is like, well, you think that they're all bad or whatever, and then he was like, they're cops, and then he said something else that makes it seem like that's not what he's saying, but there was like a pause.
Right.
And I was like, ugh. I was like, they're taking a stance, which I love. I was like, this is some badass shit. I was like, this whole fucking movie, I was like, this movie is my favorite of the year so far. Like, so they're in the scene, and like, I love how they're talking to each other, and it looks like they're having a very intense argument.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna give you the key to the outside.
I want you to take a dive.
Like, I'm gonna and you're gonna punch me. And I'm just like, this is amazing, because you do like, because every time in this movie where I was like, are they gonna go there?
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. He beats and later on in the movie he punches him, right? And he was like, I thought you was gonna pull your punch. He was like, I did, you know.
I did. Yeah, like the subtle humor in this movie is great, because like there's no like, please acknowledge me for saying something funny.
Yeah.
I get to appreciate it or not appreciate it depending on how I view it, right? Which I really enjoy.
They're not doing like the James Bond like puns.
Yeah. They're not like get it because it still hurt.
Exactly, right. You know, so he gets away, and that whole getaway scene, oh shit, it's what you pay your money to see. You know, he uses the grapple to go up. They're shooting at his ass everywhere. I love how his suit is bulletproof, kind of like the Batfleck suit was. But even the cow in, you know, the Justice League, she could get a headshot to the head and he'll still survive. And then he dumps off, you know. And I love how, like, you could tell this was the first time he ever jumped off a high building, because he was scared when he got to the top of that building. He's like, oh shit. And then Tiff, he got effed up when he landed. So, which was like cool, right?
Yeah.
They chase him down, and then we get our first look at, you know, it's been a week since I've seen it. So
yeah.
The next thing I remember that was really, really cool to talk about was, you know, they were going after the Penguin, right? Because they think he's
the informant.
They thought he was the informant because they were trying to track down this informant so they can get ahead of this whole Riddler.
Again, every time I'm like, this fucking scene is fantastic. This fucking scene is fantastic. They're fucking having this. First of all, I love it when car chases are accurate. This shit's fucked up. Okay, people died.
People were getting effed up. But let me tell you what happened in my movie theater, Tiff.
Oh, go on.
In the middle of this fantastic, like one of the best chase scenes I've seen with this Batmobile, which might be my favorite Batmobile because I kind of like how it was just a car, you know, without all the dumb shit, you know. Yeah. And my movie theater stopped in the middle for like 25 minutes, you know.
Oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ.
But it was a trip though, Tiff. Because
were you like, is this part of it?
No, everybody knew. Everybody was like, fuck. And I was like, well, let me go down and tell these people the movie stop, right? So I went down and I was like, lady, the movie stopped. It's not working. So they all on their walkie-talkies. But nobody was complaining. Everybody in the theater was like, I'm about to go take a piss. I'm about to get me some more popcorn. And I'm like,
it's like a little intermission. You had a little intermission.
This was genius. I was like, could y'all bring back intermissions? Could you have a Batman?
It was so long. You guys, this movie is so long, and Montego's experience was so much longer than everybody else's. An extra 25 minutes.
Tiff, it was about 25 minutes before they got it fixed. But Tiff, I'm telling you, I'm not complaining because.
Did you guys get anything? Did you guys get like free popcorn or anything?
No, they didn't do shit, but they didn't do nothing. But the reward was that
you got to go to the bathroom.
No, intermission should come back because people went and re-upped on their snacks.
Wasn't there was a movie recently that I thought had an intermission.
Movies used to have not too long ago.
Yeah. Was it the Snyder Cut? Did that have an intermission at the theater? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but I want intermissions to still you show a movie, do it on 2 screens. This one has an intermission. Guess what? My old ass will go to that intermission so I can take a bathroom break and get some more snacks. And guess what? It'd be good for the theaters. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I love the scene where the Penguin thought that he blew Batman up with the truck. And then like later he comes out of the flames and stuff.
Oh, that scene where he comes out of the flames is so cool. I was like, this is cool. I mean, I didn't mean to say like a brain dead idiot, but I was like, this looks really cool, man.
You can't say anything about it, Tiff. It was. And, you know, then they had him all tied up. And when they realized he wasn't the informant and they left his ass sitting there, I was like, oh, God, it's so good, right? Because they didn't give a shit.
But okay, when he's like, okay, I love this because here we are. These people have been cleverly solving these clues.
So wrong.
And he's like, El Rata? You mean La Rata?
Right. He was
and they were just like, and there was just a small pause in the dialogue where you could tell that they were both like,
Oh, he even says it. He's like the world's greatest detective.
Yeah, I could tell they felt shamed. They were like, this is shit. I do feel ashamed.
We didn't kill 20 million people on this highway over here, right?
Yeah, I bet he was like, oh, Jack, I've really reached my quota of citizen killing for today, and it was over for nothing.
Yeah, so 20,000 people died on that highway. That's all I got to say.
So he was saying, this was the hardest one for me to understand, because I was like, how did he get URL out of that? Because they were saying URL.
Yeah.
And then the URL is Rada Salada.
Right. And all the while this is happening, we got our girl Selena Kyle literally turning into the Catwoman without calling herself the Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sexy and it works, but it's not like, oh, she's a sex pot that shows up that can shoot. It like works. Everything what I love
about this portrayal of Catwoman has always been very like, she's quick. That's why she's good at what she does, and she's a good fighter. And I thought this was a really excellent portrayal of that, because she's not doing a lot of heavy lifting. She's using her size to her advantage, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, she has a little whip, and she'll crack you in the head with the
whip. And she's going up, right? So like she's kicking up and like moving fast, which is that's the strategy you would use if you were smaller than your opponent.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz was fantastic in this role. I mean, there's no weak link, in this thing. I haven't seen anything that I was like, oh, they could have did better with that. So, we
have a pretty good movie when my worst complaint is that it was silly when I saw his face on the bat flying.
Right. But so John Turturro comes in. We find out that, he was pulling the strings, and then they hit the white privilege of who Bruce Wayne was. And when he named Bruce Wayne as like gonna pay because of what his daddy did, because the Waynes weren't, they had this blackmail thing that Martha Wayne was nuts, which is good. Because now we see why Bruce Wayne would put on a Batsuit and start running around. He has a little residual nuts in him, right? And the daddy was like trying to cover up the nuts. Alfred knew about it.
Yeah, it was more like save. Right. The idea in this movie was that like to save his wife the pain and embarrassment, he did something a little underhanded.
Scared with this, reporter, but Carmine Falcone took it further and murdered the guy.
Yes, to have so that he can have something over him.
Right, but he goes to the police station. Next thing you know, the Waynes are killed. And I said, that is such a better explanation than random thug, kills this guy, and now I'm going to put on a suit and chase people in the darkness for the rest of my life, It's
also the one thing that I'm always shocked about when I think about the Batman origin story, which is, I mean, I get it, but like, is that they don't just kill him too. I mean, I feel like they're unscrupulous people.
I'm so glad that I didn't see the pearls drop into the ground.
Oh my God. I like that this movie gives us a little bit of backstory, retells that story, but I don't have to fucking see it. I don't have to spend a lot of time in the movie dealing with it.
It's all about the pace, Syphobot. It's the case.
This pace is outrageous. You hit the ground running, you never really stop.
Right. And so the Riddler now, it's all about the Riddler at this point, because it's like he's in charge. We can't do nothing to stop what's going to happen. All we can do is like try to do fix it. So Gotham is like New Orleans. There's levees all around it. So he blows. And Tim, do you think the whole time I'm like, oh my God, he knows Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yes, when he's talking to him in the cell. I thought that was that turn was so unexpected, and I was like, he's kidding, right? And I was like, no, I was just like, oh, and then this is actually exactly like a lot of like people who have been imprisoned for like sociopathic activities do believe that, like, sometimes they'll believe like a police officer is their friend. Right. So like he has developed, it's very similar kind of like to the relationship that Joker believes that he has with Batman, where like we're this two sides of the same coin, essentially. This was more like, I see you as the only person who understands, like, we're buddies. I would like you to be my buddy. And then it turns out that they were, because he was at the orphanage where his parents had gone to like give money.
Yes.
And I actually, again, everything in this movie, I love. The messages in this movie are fantastic. The white privilege that they're talking about here, when he's like, I mean, he's white too, but he's saying that like, you're not an orphan. An orphan lives in an orphanage where
cash, punk. You got a whole bunch of
where like babies died because it was too cold. Like there's nothing wrong with your life.
Yeah. And then the levees blow, and people started to get drowned.
This scared me. I'm actually afraid of drowning pretty badly. Even though I love swimming, I'm just like I'm afraid of like a cataclysmic event where you like it's unavoidable.
Tifobot. It was cataclysmic, boy.
Oh my god.
Okay, so how many people actually made it through this movie? I'm sure that
everyone's dead.
Like 400,000 people probably got murdered in that water because it was like just careening the whole city. And then you had like the people. And then I love the scene where Gordon was like, you know, don't go out there, Mayor. And the mayor was like, it's the people. She go out there and paka, paka, paka. She's like, I was like,
well, yeah, I was just, yes. And then like, so in this, when that water starts coming in, I was like, people were screaming like it was the Titanic sinking scene. I was just like, we're all going down.
Yeah, it was bad. But then add injury to insult, he got these effing fools.
Yes, his little army
people. And oh my God, the fighting and the takedown, and then the Catwoman saving him, and all the shit was so good, you know. And then I didn't even get it when it happened, when he was like, I'm vengeance. I was like, oh, and then he was like, God damn it, I'm vengeance.
Well, like when he's punching him, like that's one of the things like you can tell that there's like Robert Pattinson, or you know, is more upset, like, or whatever in the scene. He's like punching him like he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
And
then a little bit more effed up though when that mask came out.
Yeah, like, that's the PG-13 happening. Is right, that like we like when we saw the little bit of blood after he hit the DA in the head, I was like, that's probably, we'd see probably a little bit of more than that, I think.
Yeah, y'all could have did R and still it wouldn't have been out of control.
Yeah, you know but I mean, honestly, I wasn't perturbed. It's not the right word. I wasn't upset by this movie's portrayal of it. Like the PG-13 wasn't. I wasn't like, that's a detriment to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah. They got around everything really good without going over the top. And you know, Batman becomes a hero in this moment. He saves the children. He saves the mayor. He saves the children. He saves everybody. You know, and they got this whole thing going where he's like out there amongst the people, and I'm like, so good. And
that's how you would sew the narrative where citizens are like, yeah, Batman, or yeah, Spider-Man, or whatever.
Yeah.
And where the police would be like, he's garbage.
Yeah. So good, Tiff. So, you know, everything gets sewn up. Catwoman goes to Bloodhaven.
Okay, she goes away, and I actually did like this kind of melancholy scene where he kind of sees her or whatever. But she had those cats on that bike. I was like, that's outrageous. Outrageous.
You know, imagine they're like
I couldn't get my cat to go in the car. My cat would freak out in the car. So I can't imagine just two cats strapped to a motorcycle blazing down the interstate 90 miles an hour. It's like,
have a goddamn heart attack before it's over. You pull them out the box, they like dead. Like shit. Holy shit.
Those boxes are covered in cat shit. I tell you what. So yeah, it's basically at the end, he's like, I'm gonna make Gotham better. You know what I mean? If it can be made better, I'm gonna make it better.
I love it, dude. Do a sequel and have
or don't. If it exists,
you could do a sequel and just have another goddamn like detective story. You know?
Have you ever seen a movie where like it didn't matter about? Sometimes I see a movie and I like it and it upsets me because other people don't like it, and I feel like it's being not well served.
Yes.
But sometimes I see a movie and I'm just glad it exists, even if it was just for me.
This is
now, I don't say that this is just for me, but I'm saying this is a movie that I would feel that way about.
Yeah. Really good. They had that scene at the end with the Joker, which
is that's the Joker, right?
100% the Joker. It was the Joker from The Killing Joke with the hair coming up, you know, down. You really want to do something sweet? Throw Joaquin Phoenix in this. This is the same universe in my mind. This is the same Joker universe, Batman universe. Now, the Joker was arrested in like the early 80s because that's where that movie was like, you know, it was like the early 80s or mid 80s. Now, you know, the Joker could be a little older, you know, as he would be with the Pattinson character. And you can use that Joker. I would love that shit, man. You know, don't create another goddamn Joker, you know. But anyway, do a sequel or not, the performance in this thing was off the chain stellar. So impressed. I love this movie as much as I love No Way Home, Spider-Man, but it's just two different things.
I mean, they're very different things, but yeah, I would say this. I mean, I would say this movie, I don't want to say it's better. It's just different.
It's different, but
like this, so it's
way up there, right? Just so good. You guys stuck your foot in it.
This movie should be nominated for Oscars.
Listen, I'm gonna stop gushing over this thing, but F y'all, I love this movie.
Nobody said anything. Just coming in hot, just assuming people are gonna hate it.
Well, it'll be some people that have issues with it. Nerds will love it. You know, hopefully we don't have a nurse going, "Where's Superman?" You know, we don't need to hear that shit. It's fine. Just leave this like this. This is great. Anyway, man, I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. This has been our discussion review of The Batman, you know, starring Robert Pattinson. Highly anticipated and
well received, well rewarded. We were rewarded.
God damn it. Thank you. Shit. You know, we didn't have to sit up there and be like, God damn, look at all the problems with this thing.
So good. I didn't even complain about how long it was.
Right. I noticed that. And my experience was longer than yours. So with me is my dynamite co-host, Miss Tiff Abad. Say goodbye to the people. Tiff.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Indeed. Now take your ass on over to we're about to do some chainsaw massacring. Right. So see us over at the Patreon, and y'all have a good week. Until next week, we will be
on patrol.